Good afternoon. Welcome to a packed Mermaid Theatre. This afternoon, under the interview spotlight, we have someone who is hailed as a sporting guru. Would you please give a warm welcome to Sir Dave Brailsford? Well, Dave, you describe yourself as a distinctly average cyclist.
Distinctly.
You've admitted that you've never, ever won a bike race. So how do you explain your elevation to a sporting guru?
Yeah, it was embarrassing, that, really, to be honest. I left home when I was 17 to go and live in France. I grew up in North Wales, not the mecca of professional cycling when I was a lad, that must be said. But I kind of really thought, right, I'm going to go and win the Tour de France. So I thought, I'd commit to this. I packed my bags off. I went to Grenoble, and I managed to find a team there. And eventually started racing for a little while, and then realised pretty early on that
you weren't going to make it.
It wasn't going to happen. And I tried so hard, and I was so committed, and I read everything I could. And I wasn't great at school, but I found my calling, if you like, in sports science, sports nutrition, sport. I loved it all.
Now, Dave, back to the penalty.
Yeah, but the same thing happens in sports people, all the top sports people, when it comes to a big event. If they start to engage, or they, even worse, become hijacked by an emotional, the consequence of the emotion, what might happen to me as an individual, my ego, it's a fear thing, then that will potentially impact on my ability to be able to perform a task. And so what can you do to train that? We work very, very hard on differentiating between process and outcome. And it is trainable. It is. You can work on it. You can train yourself to think in those ways. And
so, process is something you can control. Outcome is out of your control.
Yeah. So forget the result. Forget the result. And we want the result, and we know that certain results will have a bigger bearing on our lives than others. But if you're worried about the bearing of the result, the chances of you performing well in that particular moment, that particular day, is reduced.
Yeah.
And what I'm interested in, when somebody says, "Yeah, I want to win a gold medal. I'm committed to win a gold medal." Yeah, who wouldn't be? Do you know what I mean? Of course, you would be, wouldn't you, if you could get there? But I'm not sure that's the commitment I'm looking for. What I'm
you distinguish, don't you, between motivation and commitment? Could you explain what you mean by it?
Yeah, I think motivation's kind of ripples on the surface of the sea, really.
Yeah.
Commitment's deep-founded. It's raining. It's wet outside. I don't really feel like doing something. I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm deeply committed towards something. I might not be motivated towards doing it. I'm not particularly interested in motivation it ebbs and flows on a day-to-day basis.
So when you recruit riders, do you test that commitment or test for that commitment? So we establish this, what's it going to take, and we talk to people then about whether we think they're going to be willing to undertake that level of suffering and commitment or whatever it's going to take. And we kind of look at that as a commitment screen, really. And so commitment to the delivering and to the challenge as against necessarily the goal. The goal might pull us and help us towards it. And then we do two things. We talk to, we ask people, particularly youngsters, we said, tell us about the two most difficult things in your life. What are the two most difficult events that you've had to deal with in your life? And tell us how you dealt with them. Many thanks, Dave. I'm afraid the clock has beaten us, and I hope you will all join me in thanking Dave for a fascinating insight into an interesting career. Thank you.